I'm going to be reacting to some of the craziest anti-Israel TikToks. Let's jump straight in. Wow, you know, this person is a well-known pro-Palestinian activist, and I must say, her advocacy in this video is just so refreshing to see, and it's motivating me so much. Just in case you're wondering, yes, of course I'm being sarcastic. What on earth was that? How was that? Why would you do that? That's just such a, yeah, well, anyway.
Not justifying Hitler. I do not support Hitler.
You know you're losing the debate when you have to insert that in.
No.
I'm not justifying Hitler.
No.
You believe that the Jews run the American government.
That's not a secret, Charlie. I mean, you look at our government, it's been infiltrated by the Jews. The founders of pornography are Jewish.
Oh, he
the
sounds
founders
like,
of transgender,
Candace.
the transgender movement and the LGBT community are Jewish. That's exactly what was going on in Germany. I'm not excusing what Hitler did, but there's more to it. In Hollywood, who's run by Jews, this trafficking. The Jews run the trafficking. There itself, Charlie. Israel wants the New World Order. They're the synagogue of Satan. It says so in Revelation, Charlie.
Well, no, I find it hilarious that
all of Trump's cabinet is Jewish.
Well, hold on. Trump's whole cabinet. J.D.
They
Vance
have Jewish connections.
They're married
to a Jew.
J.D. Vance is Catholic. Tulsi Gabbard is Hindu.
Jewish. They all have Jewish connections.
But you just
every single person
they were all Jewish. Christy Nome is an evangelical
They've converted to Judaism or Catholicism. They all have an AIPAC advisor. Not a single person in Congress can make a decision without asking their Israeli Jewish AIPAC advisor.
Wow. Okay. So what he's saying is that just because certain people are Jewish or connected to Jewish people, that must mean Jews control everything. Does he think that there's some sort of like secret WhatsApp group where they all get together and decide who to control? If so, I'm waiting for my invite. Why haven't I been invited to this WhatsApp group? I'd love to join. By the way, on a serious note, the comments on this video are really scary to see. The most liked comment is that this is the first debate who is actually correct. The next most liked comment is that this is the first time I agree with the debater. The next says, this is the smartest person to debate Charlie Kirk. You know, that's actually quite scary. Anyway, okay, so let's move on to boycotting Israeli companies. You know, if you actually want to do that properly and boycott every company who's connected or who invests in Israel, then you're going to be pretty limited on the products you use. The top comment quite funnily says, so Google, Microsoft, TikTok, Intel, Facebook, PayPal, eBay, Amazon, all have offices in Israel. Good luck trying to live without us. You know, funny.
It's starting, y'all. They are slowly coming out with
Candace
the truth.
Owens.
And interestingly enough, it's Candace Owens, who is a conservative, who's starting this off. Let me show you a quick clip of what I'm talking about.
Every single political commentator in America, every single one of them knows this. That if you do not step out and say things that are radically pro-Israel, or if you are too quiet on certain narratives and they want you to be radically pro-Israel, you can lose everything. That's the truth. That is a fact.
But this is total rubbish. We live in a world where people rely less and less on mainstream channels and more on independent political commentators who don't have a contract to get fired from. Total rubbish.
I'm not feeling like I need to hide from that anymore or be afraid to say it, rather, is a better way to say it, because I've endured this for years. I'm just at the end of my rope. I have given so much rope here and I'm just done with it.
Which then led her to tweet out, "My crime is that I do not believe that American taxpayers should pay for Israel's wars or wars of any other country. I will not change my mind. So the question is, what will you do to me next?" Well, Candace Owens ends up being fired from the Daily Wire.
That misses out so much context. She did not get fired for saying America shouldn't give money to Israel. Matt Walsh, who's another political commentator at the Daily Wire, has also repeatedly said that America should end aid to Israel, but he never gets kicked out. The reason she got kicked out of the Daily Wire is because she's an anti-Semite, and she's repeatedly claimed that non-religious Jews control the world. If you're interested, I made a full video breaking down her crazy crackpot conspiracy theories. I'll link it in the description. Are they ripping down hostage posters?
Of posters of kidnapped people by terrorists.
You can smile also. If you don't have human life, you don't love human life, you can smile also. Yeah, you can smile. I do love human.
That is so horribly ironic how she's saying she loves human life whilst ripping down a poster of an innocent hostage. And by the way, let's just be clear. You can be pro-Palestinian and still care about innocent Israelis who are massacred, raped and taken hostage on October 7th, just like you can be pro-Israeli and still care about innocent Palestinians who are suffering. Just because you're supporting one side doesn't mean you should lose your humanity for the other.
When Hamas invaded Israel on the 7th of October, what was your initial reaction to that?
I don't believe they did the day, Hamas.
I think so. Honestly, I think I need to be a bit more clued up on everything that's going on. So I feel like I'm not really qualified to answer that too well.
How can you not be qualified to answer such a question? How can you be at a rally about the Israel-Palestine conflict and not know anything about October 7th? It's either they're just stupid or they got really, really nervous because they were being interviewed and somehow forgot about October 7th. I really, really hope it's that one. Well, those were quite interesting videos. What did you think of them? Which did you think was the worst?